we love living in Florida, and one of the only drawbacks are mosquitoes. Not a fan.
Yeah. Every day my sons go out and play in the yard because the weather's so nice.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about mosquitoes like I did before I got the mosquito net system. And basically the system's like a big drum of this perfectly fine, like, mosquito repellent. It, like, dissipates.
Perfectly fine.
Damn it!
It's perfectly fine. What's in that? What is this around my? It's torque. It's perfectly fine.
You don't know. No, leave it. No, we're leaving it. Because I meant perfectly fine.
Are we leaving it?
Okay, but
then I nominate this for next year's awards. This is in the nominees for next year's awards.
I mean, it's not dangerous.
Because you didn't say anything bad, and it is perfectly fine. But I just when people say that, I'm like, oh yeah, really? Is it really?
Well, I don't know why I said it.
Why did you say perfectly fine?
Because I was trying to describe the fact that it dissipates in 10 seconds. It's not harmful. It's not a harmful chemical or anything.
Yeah.
It's like 100 times less harmful than the off that you would spray on your kids.
Oh, you could have said that, but you didn't say that.
I don't know that. Well, I don't know that for a fact, but I know that it's totally safe. Listen, my wife.
Is it totally safe or is it perfectly fine?
It's both. Anyway, it sprays no mosquitoes, and it does it automatically. I don't have to think about it, and I just go in my backyard. Yeah, it's
oh my God, you hear that? I have corona.
Oh my God.
Oh my Lord.
Can you smell it? Perfectly fine.
I can't smell anything, but I feel perfectly fine.
And Daniel's got the portable system, so...
And I can attest, it is also perfectly fine. Don't beat me up, dude.
It's Mosquito Next, perfectly fine.
It is another Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
Tom. So, if there's still tickets left by this time, you'll be lucky, but TomandDanLandCruise.com.
It's a go.
It's, if you don't know about it, all the information's on that website. Thank you to Just Call Mo, ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, and Sports Subaru for being our presenting sponsors.
Yeah, there are presenting
we got a lot
sponsors.
of other sponsors on there.
We love all of our sponsors. Yeah, go see all of our sponsors, especially the big ones.
Yeah. So anyway, I went to St. Augustine for my anniversary weekend.
What'd you think? World's oldest city.
Well, I've been there before.
Oh, okay. That's right. You've been with me a couple of times. It's starting to lose its allure, and this is coming from a man who's pro St. Augustine. I went to school in St. Augustine at Flagler College. My parents, my mom still has, I guess technically still has a place in St. Augustine.
Yeah. Well, the beach and the town overall, like, I don't care about any of the touristy things.
Me neither. It's a great city, though. I've always had a fond, kind of a little spot in my heart for St. Augustine.
I look at it like if you're on the boat and it's cooler to look at like an old fort and an old city than in a regular, just Daytona Beach or, what I'm saying? There's the backdrop is cool. So, if you don't go into the city, it's a cool destination to go to. Anyway,
I always try to imagine what it would have been like to have been standing on a wooden boat while cannonballs from the fort were being shot at your boat.
Oh, yeah. Bad.
Because, your perception of, an accurate hit, it doesn't seem like they would hit very often, right? Those first couple of shots are going to be wonky.
Well,
until they start doing the math, right?
Yeah.
The first couple shots are not going to be good because they got to start working the math and doing the numbers.
Yeah.
You're using an eye thing, and you're like, all right, starboard, 2 degrees, give me the thing. Light the fuse.
Crazy difficult to hit some ship with a cannonball, 5,000 yards away. The crazy.
Did we get it?
And you just happen to not be paying attention, right? And the cannonball that's reserved for ripping the floors apart of your boat, red hot hits your legs.
Oh, it does.
And it just incinerates you, right?
Yeah,
and it cauterizes it. It blows you in half, but it seals a part of you up because it's red hot flaming.
It's coming out of there as fast as a bullet, but there's
actually it's coming out really slow.
Yeah. So
and excruciating.
I called my wife because she can.
What line is she on?
Verify. I think one. Yeah.
Hey, Crystal Van.
Hi.
Hey, baby. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Happy anniversary. Now, we pre-recorded this, but...
happy anniversary, guys.
We recorded this on March 1st, which is our 13th wedding anniversary. Now, legally, we've been married 14 years, right? Or that's coming up?
I'm 26. 24th or something.
That was the goof
okay. So
wedding.
the first is the actual. Well, okay.
Legal.
The first is the legal. The 26th or 24th or 27th is the goof.
No.
The goof was the legal, is the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Okay, now yes, the goof is the legal, but you celebrate the non-goof. Gotcha.
The regular.
Yeah, because
it's kind of a goof too, though. If you look at the whole, the characters that were
I
there.
wouldn't say that, but hey, it's your wife.
So anyway, so March 1st.
It was a nice wedding.
Yeah,
It was a beautiful wedding. I walked in on your mom peeing. I caught the meemaws.
Oh, no.
So I think we went to St. Augustine our first wedding anniversary, and we took the boat up. I don't know, you remember that story? We got caught in the storm. We went out when the dock master said, "Don't go out. It's going to be a storm."
So even though that wasn't a great experience, you think the 13th year, which is the unluckiest year, would be, let's go back to St. Augustine.
Yes.
Okay.
I never learned my lesson.
It's like
don't believe in supernatural anything.
They're bringing the original cast of Real World back together.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, this is
I
the
need
same
Paramount
thing
Plus.
for Tom. They're doing the same thing. He's going to do it again.
Don't believe in luck, or it's all just coincidence. That's what.
Yep.
Anyway, so we went out there the first year, and then we've gone back a lot.
Yeah,
of
you
times.
took me one time.
Yeah. So we decided to go up there, and we decided to do something a little different this time, where we were like, well, let's go out for a sunset cruise. But let's go over to the other docks near downtown and then get out. Just stop there.
Yeah. So you're going to
tie up and then just walk into town. Right?
Like as if you were using your boat for a mode of transportation.
Yes, yeah.
Like the pioneers did.
And because we don't have a car, obviously we'd have the Uber or whatever. We got kids. So we figured we'd just ride over there. Now, it involved us riding back at night, which we talked about, and we're like, it couldn't be that hard. And now, babe, can you explain to Daniel and Samantha about, because I think everybody realizes or thinks that I'm talking you into this, and they can't understand why you don't let me do any of this. But I tell them, like, my wife's the one that says, like, oh, yeah, we could do it. She is as confident as I am. And then usually...
Well, we did it.
Sure, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
you did.
But the same thing with the storm and the harbor master. Like, I get a lot of the blame here for a lot of this stuff. And my wife, sometimes, I even am apprehensive sometimes, and she's like, don't be a P word.
I think maybe your wife sometimes gives you the confidence that you need to do extraordinary things that others can't do.
No, it's not extraordinary.
I'm doing my job over here.
No, I'm being serious. I wasn't like you're looking at me, you're laughing at me like I'm mocking. I'm not.
Well,
I'm saying
none of this is extraordinary.
that I was explaining to you this morning. I feel like Crystal will. Yeah, I feel like sometimes she will give you. She gave us the necessary push when we needed to quit our jobs and focus seriously on this.
So we, take the boat out, the sun setting.
I've never heard of anybody doing this, by the way. I didn't know this was a thing. Do people get on your boats in towns? Do you get on your boat and take it into the town?
I don't know.
Because that's cool. I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
but I didn't know you did that. I thought, I'm not a boatman. I'm a carman.
Well, during the day, I guess I didn't see that many boats at all at night.
That's what I'm saying. I've never heard of anybody going, let's get on our boat, we'll drive it into the center dock of the city, walk around the city, and then get it back on our boat and then take it away. That's pretty neat.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought, a lot of people would do this, especially if you lived in a town where there's boats everywhere. Yeah. It's like you just travel by boat. Even at night, the intercoastal will be buzzing with boats here and there.
Sounds fun and pretty.
Especially, I imagine then people think, oh, well, I had a few, I'll drive my boat. It's less dangerous.
Lot safer.
Even though you can make the argument more dangerous. But so, no seatbelts, there's a pitch black and there's water.
There's spinning propeller of death.
Yeah. So anyway, we took the boat out. The sun setting over the fort.
It's got to be nice, right? It's got to be awesome.
We go to the downtown little marina that's right. Like you
it's
get off.
It's got to be exciting to know that you're driving your boat for the first time to beautiful downtown St. Augustine, home of a novelty hot sauce store.
And
Daniel, when was the last time you were there?
We went, I want to say, I couldn't tell you the last time I went to St. George Street. Maybe a couple years.
So crowded. And I don't know if it was like COVID crowded because Florida's open and people are here because they can go out and do things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or if I've just gotten older and like more curmudgeon and don't want to be around a lot of people. But I could not believe how crowded it was. It was like walking. I don't know.
With the weather, you had everything working for you, too. Like, the weather was phenomenal. They probably had some sort of once a month or last Saturday, jewelry fest where old people get out there and they sell this Chinese garbage that they've ordered off of websites, convinced that they're going to be the next, Picasso making wire jewelry. Yeah. It's all garbage, you dumb old people.
It was S-Slam, though, and I was like, whoa, there's more people here than I thought. Like, I thought... like a pandemic may thin somebody. It was like a holiday weekend. So we were like, "Whoa, it's too crowded. We got to get out of here." We can't go inside anywhere. It's just,
we didn't stay very long.
It's too packed.
I wanted to get some Saddam Hussein hot sauce.
Now, but before,
well, I think all we really were going to do was get out and walk down to the ice cream shop and get ice cream for the kids, and then go back. They also have a putt-putt golf there that closes at 5:00. So I think that's kind of stupid. It would be fun to do that at night.
Yeah, putt-putt before 5? Who plays putt-putt before 5? Yeah. I'd like to meet that person. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Lunch putt-putt? Who does that?
So
it closes at 5. Isn't that dumb?
Yeah, but an insane person would play putt-putt like at 11:30. Who does that?
Now, before we left, this gentleman comes up to me and...
Excuse me, sir, your boat is floating away.
And
he didn't just come up to you.
Well, you know what it is? Okay.
He was standing in the middle of the street. No, he was standing in the middle of St. George Street. He's wearing an army pants and a tight black shirt with like a Velcro label on it. Like it looks like some sort of army or military garb. And then he puts his hand out kind of aggressively and he's like, "Hey guys, they're filming up ahead." And we've had a couple of complaints. And then he reaches into his bag and he pulled out a baseball cap and put it on Max's head.
No,
said,
do not put a hat on my kid.
Wait, they're filming up ahead. I need to dress.
What is happening?
Wait, he said I need...
That's exactly how it happened.
So he's like, they're filming up ahead.
So during a pandemic, a stranger's just going to place a hat on a random child's head?
They're filming up ahead. Your sons need these crappy baseball... Like, what kind of hat is it?
All right, well, I'll explain. So now, here's the problem.
Okay. I'm very confused.
I don't know what's going on.
The problem is I'm out of practice for making myself... shielding myself from panhandlers and scammers because I haven't been out in public for a long time. And usually, when you're out in St. Augustine and busy, like... you
have a panhandler callus.
But there's certain... You get yourself ready for panhandlers and for people trying to sell you garbage.
Head down, busy walk.
Yes.
There's techniques.
So, but the problem is I was thrown off because I haven't been around.
This guy popped out of nowhere. This is like, what are those things called where they start dancing in the middle of nowhere?
And so usually
flash mob. This guy's a goddamn flash mob.
Yeah, he stopped us. He's like, hey, they're filming up ahead. And so that caught my attention. Like, well, am I not supposed to walk there? So then that was already like he had gotten my attention with that. And then he said, we've had a couple of complaints. And then I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, what
complaints about what? Like people walking by? Like so now I'm really listening to see what he's going to say. And then he flips the hat onto Max's head and says something about Captain America. And before I know it, both the kids had hats on. And he's saying, we're working for, like the homeless league or something. And here's my badge. And he pulls out one of these like zip badges from his belt buckle. But like, obviously I'm not going to take it and examine what's on it, But it's just one of those things where you flash a badge and nobody's going to see what it actually is.
Sure, it's a clipboard.
And he was trying to show us how legitimate he was,
Yeah. By the way, when you flash a badge at me, like what? Even if it was, I would have no way. Even police badges, whatever badge, me looking at it will make no difference to whether I believe you or not because I don't know if I look at a badge, like what does that mean?
The opposite. I'll do anything for any badge I see.
Well,
even if I think you have a badge or a badge.
So anyway, so the guy starts telling me, like, now both the boys have hats, and then now I realize,
so is he trying to raise money for like a homeless vet?
No, it's a scam.
Or,
it's a,
it could be a scam, but his idea is to say, I fought for the country, I'm a vet, and I'm homeless, and
yes,
okay, gotcha.
And so his overall pitch is, I'm selling these hats, which are basically American flag hats, or from what I've seen, like it looked like a regular trucker hat with an American flag patch on the top.
Gotcha.
Right? And that's
like the tactical Velcro patchy.
Yeah.
I've seen those.
No, but listen, let me tell you something about the hats. Mm-hmm. They have a Velcro. They do have a Velcro on the front, it's an American flag in black and blue on the front of Max's hat.
Okay, that's
and if you peel the American flag off, it says veteran. And the same on your Tommy. Tommy's is camo colored. And if you peel it off, it says veteran. So I'm like, these are like stolen valor hats.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just buy a veteran hat.
Well, I didn't know. He didn't sell me on that.
I think I could go to a store and buy a veteran hat for like my grandpa.
I don't think
who was in the Navy.
Well, yeah, but
as a gift.
But you're not supposed to wear it.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what the rules are.
I guess you could, but you probably shouldn't.
Are you? Are you supposed to wear a hat as a veteran? But
if you're not a veteran, it would be disrespectful.
Yeah,
you should not do that.
That's what I would think. Anyway, but this guy's just some bum selling.
Yes.
Whatever.
Times are tough. You got veteran hats. You're selling veteran hats and wearing them.
And he did the move.
Oh, this is bad.
He starts pressuring me into I first tried to.
Crystal, are you enjoying this?
No, I wanted to step in and say, no, just go. We're not giving you any money. Goodbye. Have a nice day, and then walk away. But like the hats were already on my kids' heads, and also they're, I don't always want to be like the bitch that comes in and like.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand. I'm that guy. I'm the heavy. I don't want to be the guy that has to come in and ruin the fun stolen valor hat parade.
Yeah.
But
it's a COVID hat. I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't want to.
No, then it's going to be mean mommy. Mean mommy never lets us have any fun. Yeah. And that guy would have been like, man, that guy's getting towed around by a mean old lady or whatever. So I just sat there and let it happen.
Mommy doesn't let us pretend that we fought a desert storm.
I
did 4 deployments.
Once the kids,
how dare you make fun of Max?
Once the kids had the hats, and then he started doing the this is for a the hats are free, but we asked for a suggested donation. And then I started. I was like, God damn it!
He asked for a suggested donation of $15 or $20 per hat. Okay, and then at the end of this whole thing, TC looked at him and said, okay, you can put me down for $20 per hat.
Whoa.
Okay. The guy gave you a lower number.
That is not what you told us, Tom.
Yeah, this story changed.
Yeah, it did.
We got a different story.
Because he is lying to me and saying it's for the homeless.
You didn't ruin anything. You just made us all realize that we get half-truths around here.
No, but like when he says this is for the homeless, and then what am I going to do? Ask for the less? Like, I want the $15. I then feel pressured into
He's already forcing you to buy a hat.
The $20 donation.
Okay, if I give you $15, what does that not include compared to the $20 stinky hat donation?
And then I tried to say that I had no money, but he's got a square.
It's mind-blowing to me.
All bums have squares
It's
now.
mind-blowing to me that you find that this is less difficult than just saying, get away from me, stinky old bum!
I'm telling you.
Yeah, because chances are you'll never see this guy again.
Yeah.
So who cares?
If you just yelled at this guy's face to get away from me, like, it's amazing to me that would be harder than this whole thing with the square and the just standing there, even watching Crystal get irritated.
Well, I don't want to do any of this, but I'm telling you, my bum repellent it's not as focused as it was before.
It doesn't exist. Stop lying. It doesn't exist.
No, I used to. Like we were back,
he may have had it. I think he did.
No, at least I could be like, I'm sorry, I don't want. Like, no, they can con me out of a lot of things.
So you're saying you're so far out of practice now that there's no going back?
Well, now it's just anybody can get me. It's like, I want to buy this.
Don't say that out loud.
Anybody, I'll buy anything you're selling.
Wow.
If you catch me in the right position, which is basically now on the phone, I just hang up on your face because then I can hide because that's me disappearing. But in person, listen, I can't get away. I have to buy it. And then
interesting.
So they scammed me out of $40.
Well, where are the hats? Bring them in. I'll wear one.
Yeah, what are the hats now?
Then we realized that.
Oh my gosh!
That when you take the American flag patch off, it says veteran.
Each of your son was a 4-star general. Yeah,
and I was like, God. And the colors, there's also the guy leaned into me after I purchased the hats.
Always the lead.
He leaned in. He's like, hey, Trump's coming. And then I'm like, what? Coming where? Why'd you tell me that? And then that's what and then he's like, he's coming. And then I'm like, all right.
Where's he going to be?
And then I'm like, all right. And then,
did you say, wait, I need more? And he's like, I can't tell you more. I got to go.
He just thought that I was on his team, and he was like, he's coming. I'm like, all right, thank you. And then I bought my hats.
Oh, wow.
And when we got on the boat to go back in the middle of the night, I did think to myself, I was like, well, if we'd run aground, because there's a huge sandbar there, basically.
Yeah, that's sketchy.
The inlet comes in and then splits north and south,
correct.
Right? And then, but where it comes in is basically built up a huge sand, shallow part.
Or whatever. I don't even know what you call that.
I think it's because the ocean brings sand in and just builds up so you kind of have to.
There used to be a high collection of cheap flea market camo hats that had operated there.
So I knew that was there, and there's oyster beds, and then there's like shallow parts near the fort. But when we got underneath the Bridge of Lions and started heading back towards Conch House, which is basically you have to take a right and go towards the ocean, and then take a right last minute to go to the Conch House.
Back towards A1A for those of you that in cars.
When we got on the boat and we were in the middle of the Intercoastal, it was darker than I anticipated. I couldn't see anything.
Well,
we couldn't see the markers.
Well, you were wearing your Stolen Valor hat over your eyes. Because you were so impressed with it.
Well,
it was a full Admiral's hat. It looked like Captain Crunch's actual hat.
I did think to myself, well, if we do run aground and I have to call the police to come save us, and then they're mad.
That Blues Lives Matter hat on.
I was like, boys, put your hats on if we run aground.
Absolutely.
They'll,
and Max cue siren noises in 3, 2.
But I did.
It was so the moon was supposed to be really big, right? And the moon was really big, but it was still sort of at the horizon level when we were leaving the dock, so it wasn't lighting up the waterway yet. It was really, really, really dark. And the pylons for the channel markers, you couldn't see them. They're not lit. I thought that they would have little lights on the top, like a little red one.
That's what I said. Solar-powered lights.
Okay.
Just to tell me.
They didn't.
Crystal Van, I was asking Tom these questions this morning, and then he looked at me like I was trying to screw with him. And I promise you I'm not, because I don't know. So here is my question, because you're the first mate of the Lena 3. When you're going out, do you carry a 1 million candle power light for you to be at the front of the boat, or a guest to help the pilot? What are you supposed to do? Because I don't think I've ever been on a boat at night.
No, nighttime boating, you should. It's usually not that dark. You can still see. I mean, we were fine. We could see. The only thing you're going to run into are other boats, and they have their lights on, or the pilings, which they did appear in plenty of time for us as long as you're going slow. We weren't going to run into them, but you couldn't see the next one. It appears 20 yards out, and then the next one is 100 yards away, so you have to wait the 80-yard difference till you see the next one. You know what I'm saying?
Is there a proper speed? Because I'm asking, and of course, we have somebody in the Twitch chat room. Clark's laughing my ass off. No spot. I'm asking. I don't know.
Oh, we're doing
I'll edit it out.
I love people who laugh at you for not knowing something.
Yeah, of course I don't know. I don't own a boat. I'm actually asking because
I don't know.
What you said made a lot of sense. To have the lights on the top of the marker makes sense.
Well, only so we could see it, but maybe it's to dissuade people from going out at night. It's they think of it as if we light up the markers, then we're telling all
encouraging
the drunks and everybody who think they can navigate this at night that it's okay.
Because people like pretty lights.
No, then they'll just have a false sense of confidence that they can go out at night. This
close one eye and then shoot the light. Okay, yeah.
This whole thing told me, and the fact
this is making sense.
By the way, the fact that nobody else was out there told me this is not something that everybody does. Like, and I learned
there
that.
Were people. There were other people. There were other boats.
There was
we saw like 3 boats.
Yeah, but it was like a tour. There was one tour boat.
And one police boat, and then one sunken boat.
It wasn't like a bunch of people were just navigating, like going back and forth to the bar.
It wasn't
like I thought.
It wasn't like traffic. Like
I thought that there would be people like going from their house to the bar to downtown.
I don't think they use it like it's a skateboard or a one wheel. I think it's a boat.
Anyway, what do you think, babe? I don't know if you thought about this, but I was all that ran through my mind is what the cops were going to say once they like bring towboat out there, and then they have to bring a police boat. Like, of course, they have to get the guy out of bed. They call him. They're like, some guy ran aground with his family and needs help. And they're like, God, because they're mad. So they have to get out of bed, get to their boat, launch their boat, come out to us.
It was like 8 o'clock. They probably were not at bed. They were probably at the bar. But I never thought we were going to ran aground, babe, because it was high tide. And we knew where we were going.
I thought about I thought about this. I want towboat to have automated, like autonomous, like the straight up, like the self-driving.
Oh yeah,
that way there's no like if you call you call the shame line. You give me the robot, so nobody can give me S. So when the robot pulls up, he's like, you did it again, didn't you, Van?
The robot just comes and then pulls you out, and then you just pay through credit card.
Well, you already paid.
You pay over the phone.
You already paid.
That's right, because most of...
Give me that autonomous robot boat.
You know what? You bring up a great point, because most of the hassle and the embarrassment comes when being saved. I've been saved a lot.
Looking in people's eyes, admission of guilt.
Like when the towboat comes to pull you, or the cops come to flip your boat over because you're a song. It's always the shame from the guy looking at you. And
if it was a robot, I'd do it every weekend.
How did you get yourself in this position, you idiot? And then you have to be like shamed, and like you're like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. You know,
there's a reason that you have sex less than you masturbate.
Yeah. Like, babe, remember the time that
it's a perfect analogy.
You yelled at those people, and you almost got me into a fight at the dock at the Winter Park chain of lakes.
Trump's gonna win, you'll see.
You know what?
And then
that guy stole our parking space. I was waiting with my blinker on, and that guy stole my parking space.
I remember.
And he deserves to be yelled at.
I remember this story.
And then we went out and we yelled. You yelled at the guy, and then I almost had to do the like, I'm going to go protect my wife, and then I
hold my wallet.
No, you did not.
I'm wrestling the guy. He's throwing me down to the.
You're doing that movie where you guys are wrestling in like a half dirt parking lot with little white rocks all in it.
My kids are crying. We didn't have kids.
Well, they're playing Minecraft.
Anyway, she did yell at some guy, and then we went out on the lake. Our boat broke down, and then it was getting close to nighttime, and the only person left was the same guy. And then we had to wave him down, and he had to give us a jump. And then the whole time he's just and
he didn't say a word, did he?
Oh no, he said, "Look who we are."
What do we have here?
Yeah. Looks like next time you'll be nicer to that whole thing. Even though he was, and I had to just take the shame. Remember, I wanted to drop his battery charger in the water, and then I wanted to jump over and then start fighting with him and his family. Anyway, that's the worst part. Being saved is a shame. But
all in all, a great day on the city, right?
Yeah.
Listen, yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. I like it better out of the city.
But
it was fun.
I can understand being out in the water like a little bit, too crowded is going to be weird.
And this is, we're recording this for ACT, so we can't tell the other story. I don't even know if you want to tell that one. But
which one? What are you talking about?
You didn't even tell us.
No, what are you talking about?
You didn't even tell us
the old Porta.
Don't you dare.
Okay.
Don't you dare.
The Porta.
No.
All right, babe. I'll call you later.
You're saving your good stuff.
I'll tell him the BDM show next week.
No, you are not going to.
Okay, I won't.
You do not have my permission.
No porta potty story here. You have our word. And he probably didn't even tell me it this morning.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, he didn't.
No. All right, babe. I'll happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary to me. Okay.
I'll see you later.
Bye. Tell us get us on that porta potty story, buddy.
No. It's just something.
Porta potty should be destroyed.
It's jellyfish season apparently, and there's jellyfish everywhere. It's
switch fast.
All over. Yeah.
You know who really likes porta potties? Jellyfish.
Here's how much.
Wait a minute. Did someone get stung and had to pee on their foot?
No. Here's how much my wife's an animal lover, and this is the torture I go through. So there's jellyfish washed ashore, right? We stopped at the beach on the way back.
Everywhere.
So we pulled up, and there's a bunch of jellyfish on the shore. Tide was going out, and they just get washed up, right? And some of them have just been baking in the sun on the
I
beach.
like them when they start to disintegrate, and the needles, the stingy needles, get spread everywhere. So no matter what you do, you're just sting crazy.
And so we got off the boat at the beach, and the first thing Tommy and Max wanted to do was poke the jellyfish on the shore with a stick.
You know why you should applaud that? Because that means they're regular, good old American boys.
Yeah.
Because if they had any other inclination other than wanting to jam a stick through a jellyfish, they'd be weirdos.
Yeah. And
they passed the test.
So, of course, I was like, yeah, go ahead.
I still want to do that, by the way. I'm not a chopper.
Find a live jellyfish and stab them. I don't care. No one cares.
I am not a chopper, but when I see jellyfish, I always want to step on them or stab them.
Yeah.
They just look like something I want to mess with.
Go stab crazy, whatever. Even the ones you see in the water, stab them. I don't care. No one cares. No one.
It's the least.
And Crystal does not like it. She's like, don't stab them. And then I'm like, the ones on the beach are obviously
what
dead.
If they had no
but she's like, what if they're not dead? That doesn't
like if we really deep dove this and got into it and they said
have a brain
and said, look, there's no way for them to know. They have no idea. You could chop them in half a million times, they'd never know nothing about nothing.
Crystal, there's just some inherent don't mess with something alive. I mean, it could be a tree.
It's a good thing to have. No, it's a good thing to have.
It's like
it's better. You get upset when you cut the grass.
It's better than the alternative. The alternative is murderer. So I mean, I think I'll take her side.
Yeah, but it's too extreme. Like I understand, like don't whip your dog or kick it or whatever. But poking a jellyfish. That has to be okay for everybody. Like even animal lover, whatever, just poke is fine.
God, we used to stab them and get them on the stick and fling them at each other.
Crystal, though, she had some. She witnessed some like animal abuse as far as like fish goes. She is still traumatized by. Like she grew up on the boat with her uncles and her dad fishing and all this.
They used to do fish fights.
And then back in the 90s and
feed
stuff,
the fish gunpowder and make them fight to the death.
I mean, you'd be. I guess no one would be that shocked, but there's that. Most fishermen don't really treat fish with all the most respect.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of clubbing them and just cutting the bait, the bait fish that are still living. Some are big, cutting them in a certain way that they're still alive, but they start bleeding out.
That's
you know
what I'm saying? Now that one I like that one.
It's just that they're cutting the wings off stingrays and they're like all things that probably they don't do anymore. In the 90s, it was a different time.
Don't be cutting the sting wings.
Yes, and she is traumatized by that, so she doesn't.
I can understand that, man. You don't need to defend it because, I think most people would prefer that more people be like her and less people like people that don't care about animals at all.
Yeah. I guess everybody has a spectrum of animals.
Sure.
Like what most people probably care the most about what we perceive as pets.
Yeah,
and,
I'm watching it naturally kind of happen. Like Maisie brought up your boys the other day. She was going to eat some bacon. She was eating her bacon, and she goes, "Maxie doesn't like to eat the bacon I like to eat." And I go, "Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't eat pig. He doesn't eat meat, baby." And she's like, "I think I want to be more like that. I think I want to eat." Like Maxi bacon. Like I don't want to eat pig anymore. I was like, hey, you do whatever you want to do. That's fine. So thanks a lot, buddy. Great. I'll be buying
the fake bacon.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Regular bacon is cheaper
than the fake one.
Yes.
That's insane.
Publix brand.
And
it doesn't taste as good, the fake bacon.
No, hell no.
But I'm not anti it. I'm kind of like you. It's like if somebody brought it to me, it was my sandwich. It's not like I'm going to throw a fit about it. I hate that.
Because the fat, you can't get the consistency. It's like cardboard, like bacon flavored paper a little bit. That's
I like that, man. Remember Bacos?
No.
I don't think they're real bacon. I love them.
It's like flavored.
Yeah, I'm okay with all that stuff.
Flavoring. It's a little flavored balls.
Yeah, they're like little flavored, bacon flavored. I don't even know what it is. It may not even be like a protein product. It may just be like processed like carbs.
Yeah.
With like bacon flavoring.
Yeah. It's not any sort of... Yeah,
because when you describe it like that, it's kind of gross.
They will last for 100 years, you know. Anyway, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha and Butler also here with us today.
So, Butler was telling me, I think during the lunch break, that he's got a bee problem. And he said, he's like, man, these like
bees.
Removing bees is expensive. He's like, this guy is going to come do it, but it's $250. And I was like, I think because I've heard, and this is probably an urban legend, that like, I think people, because bees are valuable and there's like beekeepers that I think each, like, if you went to buy a hive from someone, I talked to my brother-in-law about this because he is a beeman.
Yeah, he is a bee guy.
And I think they're like $300 or somewhere around that if you want to buy just a hive that's already mature. Or
okay.
And then I think if you want to buy a queen, it's X amount of money. But there's like a whole bee trade. And I'm like, I think there'll be people that will come out and get your bee for free. Anyway, Butler said no. I called around and it's $250.
Is that like the standard rate?
And that was actually the lower end of the.
Oh, you're doing budget bees.
Yeah, I was going budget bees.
Oh.
And so then, of course,
I don't blame you.
Bee
You don't know
loads.
what you're getting into.
killing all the bees will be free, but Butler's wife is...
God, another one.
Just like my wife would never... I mean, my God.
And another one.
My wife wouldn't even let me kill one bee. Like she, if there's a bee in the house, I spend the whole night trying to shoo it peacefully out of the house.
We used to freeze bees and tie floss to them and have bees on leashes.
Yeah, we used to do that with dragonflies.
Yeah,
dragonflies. You freeze a blue one, you freeze a green one, you do Navy versus Army.
Now, there's a good...
You let them fight.
There is a
Till
good...
their wings fall off.
Our wives do have good points because there are...
bees are important.
Their bees are important to
I don't know
humanity.
why, but I'll read about it tonight.
Well, it's basically they use them to pollinate every crop that we have, basically.
Without bees, there's no us.
Yeah, and then and so the food production.
I think it was Pink who said sometimes it just bees like that.
Now, my argument to my wife is always like this one bee and one beehive or whatever the hell. Like we save it, we kill it, it will make zero difference.
You don't know that.
And humanity,
it might be the main hive.
But she's always like, we got to do our part, and it's
save the bees.
It's a principle, and the whole thing, and I'm like, because
principle, I'll get you.
Because I'm like, this is not going to matter.
Yeah, I know.
Like giant corporations are
Big
killing
bee
bees
doesn't give a
by
damn
the billions, and I'm not going to put a dent into the bee population. But the overall premise, don't kill bees. And Butler has to live by that as well. Believe me, he told me he just wants to chop them down.
Can't you smoke them yourself can you build a small fire and you get them smoked up and then they get like kind of drowsy and then you just like scoop them into, I'm envisioning like a Popeye's fried chicken, like a 2-piece box, and you kind of scoop them in and you shut it and you put it in the back of your truck. You drive out to a field. Can't be that hard. It's a bee.
I drunkenly interviewed my brother-in-law about bees one time, and I think just from that information, me and Butler can do this ourselves.
Oh my God, the Stony Baloney Bee Removal Brothers.
And
I like it
because
T and B,
and we have a bee
Stony Baloney.
We have a bee.
Good. To be safe. No, that was a real act.
We have a bee expert on the line.
Yeah, line one.
So Scott, are you there?
Hello.
Hey.
The bees got him.
So, Scott, you are a self-proclaimed bee expert, or what's your title?
I'm a beekeeper.
Okay.
And you said it like a beekeeper would say. I'm a beekeeper.
So, Scott, now I'm going to tell you what I know, and then you're just there as a professional, and you can stop me when I'm wrong.
Wouldn't it be easier to tell him what you don't know?
Or just let him tell you what he knows.
That's good. Hold on. Who said that?
Okay, well... I want to prove to you guys that
why is everything you trying to flex your BD in front of the beeman? This isn't about you.
Because I truly believe that if I just
believe,
from the information I know, and then if I watch one YouTube video, I can get Butler in a full bee suit, and then over the phone talk him into removing these bees in a safe manner, and
save you the money. All right, I'm on board.
Just from that,
yeah, I'm on board.
And then Scott can tell me if I'm right or wrong in this whole thing. So.
I'm sorry that I was siding with Samantha on this one. I should have gone closer to my roots. I'm with you, buddy.
So, Scott, first off, we need Travis in a bee suit, or at least the top half. You don't need the pants. Actually, you just need the face guard and the gloves.
Scott told me these are anger bees. They're in the ground. They're mad as hell.
First, where are they?
They're in my front yard. They're at my water main. They've taken over my water main. So if anything happens, I can't turn off my water.
Okay. I thought this was
it's better than
tree.
You can't turn off your... Okay. Well, it's better. At least you have water.
In my mind, it was a hive hanging from a little stem and a big... It was like
a Winnie the Pooh hive.
A
Pooh hive.
And then I thought...
bother, well, just take this and put it in a
wheelbarrow. Hold on. So now it's throwing me off. I don't know if these damn things are in the ground. Why are they in the ground?
They're ground bees.
Scott, why the hell are bees in the ground and not hanging off a Winnie the Pooh hive?
This time of year, a lot of them, this is early spring, so most of them are out swarming. Any hive that got too big or looking for a new home, this is the time of year they will actually go out and try to find a new house. And the water main boxes on the ground have almost the perfect size hole in them where you put your finger for the bees to find and make a home in it. The problem with are the bees, any bee that is in the water main boxes are usually pretty aggressive. They have more African bee genetics in them than, say, the ones that would be in the tree. They tend to like those boxes, and every one I've seen that was in a box is very angry.
All right.
I got stung over the weekend. I concur.
That's also very angry? Flamethrower. That's angry. Let's do this.
No, again, we're trying to extract the bees
you mean
safely.
I shouldn't take it personal?
We're trying to get...
Right.
Now, this is what my plan would be, and stop me where I'm wrong, Scott. So my plan
right now.
is I'm going to get Butler a full bee keeper's outfit, right? We'll get him the pants, too, just because they're on the ground.
The pants are expensive.
And then
$75.
Once you're in the full beekeeper outfit... It's to my knowledge that the bees can't get you in the outfit. You're totally safe. Is that right or wrong, Scott?
Depending on the suit, most likely wrong.
Okay, then what's the point of the suit?
I'm hearing right here. Because you said most likely and you paused a little bit. I think the bee suit's fine.
Yeah, I would say if it's not going to stop the stingers, then why are you wearing it?
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 4 generations, me and my family. And I'll tell you, more than once, I've been stung through a bee suit with a long-sleeve shirt on underneath it, and they will still find a way in.
Hold on. Well, finding a way in is different. Can they sting through the suit, or you left some sort of
a gap somewhere?
You got your bee pants are big jinkos.
Yeah. you got saggy bee pants. Maybe you wore a goddamn belt and pulled them up around your waist like a real American instead of wearing your wrap bee pants.
Your jinko bee pants, bee flew up your leg, and that's different. Like they stung through the suit, or they found a way in.
They both. They can sting through the suit. Most of the suits we wear here in Florida are a ventilated suit. There's 3 layers of mesh, and they space the mesh out long enough so the bee stingers aren't quite long enough to penetrate through. But if you were to smash a bee up against it and push the bee into the suit, then the bee can now reach your skin.
That's how Butler has sex. Push you right up against hard.
Hold on. So you gotta like smash a bee into your suit. The suit's fine. Anyways, I'll get Butler in a full bee suit, right?
Then you need that 10-man. It looks like a watering can that you water flowers, but then it poofs smoke.
Yeah.
It's like half a Catholic. It's like a Catholic priest poof can.
Yeah.
You need one of those.
Yeah. I can get a poof can. I can get one. No problem.
It's a smoker.
So
no, a smoker is what a gentleman puts meat in, sir. That is a poof can.
Fairville has poof cans.
It's it's the standard Wizard of Oz
poof can. It's a standard issue Wizard of Oz Cardinal Copious poof can.
Anyway, so I send Butler. He walks towards his water main with the poof can,
and he's poofing it good. He's
so from what I've seen on the videos and everything, Butler he used a stick or whatever to get the water main lid off, and then that's where the hive's at.
You got poof it good.
And then he starts poofing crazy, right? You poof about 75 poofs.
Yeah, at least 75. God, 75 may not even do it. I'd say 75 to 200.
Oh, you know what? We'll use tactical hats. Fog machine. That's what I use. I thought that fog's crazy. But then it's like a 30-second burst, and then you got to wait for it to heat up 2 minutes. So you better poof it the good first time. Because if you waste, you have 2 minutes of regeneration, and they're going to be swarming you.
Tom said,
you better poof it the good the first time.
So anyway, once he poofs the bees up good, that relaxes them.
Yeah, they're really relaxed. Then you can spread their legs.
And now, from what I
don't know why I said that.
From what I've talked to my brother-in-law about and seen, Butler needs to find the queen. And
then you got to deliver the documents.
So the queen is in the middle of the hive. That's where That's where I have you, Scott.
Near the royal jelly.
Where do we find the queen? Because to my understanding, once you get the queen out, the rest of the bees will follow, and that's all you have to do is get the queen.
Beyonce.
No. The queen could be anywhere in the box.
Hold on.
The way you said no makes me feel like it's a yes.
He said the queen could be anywhere in the hive. Anywhere, on top of the hive?
It could be on the lid. It could be underneath. It could be on the dirt. It could, as soon as you open the lid, it could fall on the ground. Oh. And the bees will, if you do get the queen moved over to another box, and then you were to set the box right next to where they're at, they will start to slowly walk their way into the new box that you're putting them in. But most likely, you're not going to be able to find the queen. Once you smoke them real good, they're going to start running and flying like crazy. So it's going to be real hard to find the queen in that.
Well, it's the biggest one, right? It's the Mambo.
Yeah. You look for the fat one, and you start whacking
Mambo,
it.
number 5.
So the queen is the biggest. It's easier to differentiate. It's not like all the bees are the same, and the queen has little shoes on.
But if there's hundreds of them, it might be harder to find.
You'll know it's the queen. She's wearing glasses.
And it's chaos because now they're running and flying everywhere.
Yep, I thought the queens didn't fly. They were stuck in the hive, and they had to be carried by the other bees.
No, the queen will fly when they're young. They fly out to mate.
Well, this is an old queen.
Depending how long she's been in the box, depending on how big she is, if the eggs are starting to turn into where she's about to lay them, she'll get real heavy where she can't fly. But they can still fly up to a foot or two if you were to. If they really try, they can get off the ground, but they can't go very far.
I'm still going to start telling people that when they ask why my wife can't dunk a basketball, I'm going to say she's just full of eggs. She can't fly. She's not a good jumper. She's just engorged of eggs.
So, okay, then Scott, if you're the professional, then how
why
did
is he so rude to the beekeeper?
Why are you getting mad at him?
Well, because everything I said was wrong.
Yeah.
Well, that's your fault.
Well, Scott knew that.
I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit of Scott's fault.
Okay,
he's the one telling me
We've been
I'm
over
wrong.
this on Weird Job Wednesday already.
No, God.
What are you trying to say? All these shows sound the same, Scott?
And Tom forgot everything he said.
Yeah. How did I forget? We had talked to you about all this, and then it wasn't even a year ago.
Okay, now tell me, what would you, if you were us and you had a beekeeper suit that Tom just purchased before your phone call, what would you do?
Yeah, like how can Travis remove these bees himself without paying $250? Because I feel like it's possible for you just to walk them through it, Scott. That's all I'm saying. Like
well, you should have said that in the beginning.
Yeah. Like, how would you do it?
I got a shop vac that runs into a actual bee box or into a 5-gallon bucket that has another hose coming out of that, and that way you turn the vacuum on and you can actually suck the bees through the hose into the bucket, but they will not get sucked into the vacuumer itself. And then you can collect them all in there and then shake them into a box, or just leave them in the bucket and take them with you to somewhere else to relocate them. That's the easy way.
Now, wait, I have my shop vac out here. Suck them up with shop vac and then throw it in the trash.
Then what are we going to say? No, we're going to say...
No, you punt it. They'll get their way out of it, but they won't be your problem anymore. Suck them up in my shop vac, drive them to the dump, and throw it in the dump. Problem solved. And you're not killing them. They'll find someplace else to go.
Now, could the queen...
Butler looked at me like, that's a brilliant idea.
Scott, could the queen be in the hive? Like, you can't suck the hive up with the shop vac. So how do you get... What if the queen is inside the middle of the hive down there?
You shake... If there's comb in the box, then you'll shake all the comb off and you'll vacuum many bees as you can out of there. The problem is if you do it during, say, the middle of the day, there's still about 10% of those bees out in the field flying, out collecting nectar. So you think you get them all, and then the next morning you still got, 1,000 bees inside that box.
Oh, my God.
Where does our mama?
That were out foraging.
So, Scott...
you got to knock the comb off.
Are wives correct in this? Because, Travis obviously just wants to spray poison down there and to be done with it.
I don't think he does. I think he's one of the driving forces behind protecting these.
No, he told me. He's like, if only I could spray poison on them. I was like, I know. I'm going through the same thing. I can't even kill one bee.
Travis.
Aquanet and a lighter.
Yeah.
But is there any value, Scott, to, anybody else? Like, say, yourself. Like, obviously, bees are expensive. Like, there's a cost to getting hives and whatnot. Like, I thought someone would just come out and take this hive for free because it's worth something. Am I wrong about that?
It is and it isn't. It's worth the bees. There's no comb there. You can actually transfer straight to a box. You can rubber band it into some frames and stuff like that. But most of the time when people get into beekeeping, they buy a 5-frame nuke, which is a starter hive. It's 5 frames out of the middle of an established beehive, which already has a good queen in it, and it's an easy way to start beekeeping, where if you do it with a swarm, you're going to have to catch the queen that's in there. You're going to have to find her and kill her, and then put a actual queen that someone raised in it, because the queen that's in that, most likely that's in there, has a lot of Africanized genes to it, and it will just be a pissed-off hive its entire life until you switch the queens out for a more docile queen.
Huh. So, because we've all heard the stories about the killer bees and how they were migrating from Mexico up north, and it's just a species of that bee is more aggressive?
Yeah, the Africanized bees were brought to South America. They were doing some studies on them. They were trying to cross them with the European honeybee, which is a much more calm, docile bee. And when they were down there crossing them, the bees are so good at adapting to their environment, they just flew out and swarmed, and then they slowly made their way from South America and moved all the way up here to the United States. And people do keep African bees, and I've seen some people but every time you do keep Africanized bees and stuff, you got to get fully suited head to toe, tape your pant legs, tape your arms, tape around your neck where your veil attaches, and it's just a pain to work. And they're a liability with if anyone comes just riding by the bees on a horse or something, they could get tore up pretty bad just because the bees are so aggressive towards vibration and people messing around with their hives.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is it an insurance liability in some way to own something that at that point it just becomes like any other super aggressive dog that could hurt somebody?
Because, so Scott, I've seen at my brother-in-law's house, he's got a hive in his backyard. He's got a bunch. He's got 100 in a field.
Well, he does honey, right?
Yeah, he makes honey and all that stuff. But the hive in his backyard, the bees were just orderly flying out in one stream and then flying back, getting pollen and flying back. But and he's like, they won't mess with you. You could stand, and I stood right next to him as close as to this light, and I just watched them fly out and fly back in orderly fashion. And
it's relaxing, I bet.
If they were Africanized bees, are you saying that if I stood that close, they started wanting to sting me and whatnot?
Yeah, a few of them would start if you were to walk just in front of the entrance of the hive. The more Africanized or more aggressive the bee species is, they'll fly out of the entrance and come right at you. Mm-hmm. Where most bees that I do queen breeding for a living, so I'm big into the genetics and the different versions of bees. So what we do, we raise them just to be as docile as possible and to have where they build a lot of brood, which is the baby bees, and build real fast, get real big and real strong real fast. So that's what we're after trait-wise, because I know the queens I'm making, I'm selling back to backyard beekeepers and commercial guys.
Gotcha.
So I don't want to sell someone a bad.
Right.
It's like selling them an aggressive dog instead of a puppy.
That's interesting. I've never thought of lineage for bees and the fact that you might have a very coveted temperament for a bee queen. That's fascinating, dude.
So, Scott, is it one of these random pest control places that offer the service of non-kill bee removal, right?
I've seen that. Yeah.
Is it BS in the fact that they tell you non-kill will come and extract the bees, but since these bees are the Africanized bees, aggressive bees, they're not worth anything to anybody because nobody wants aggressive bees. Do they just kill them, or do they actually? I mean, is there any law against you saying, "Hey, I'm going to relocate these bees," and then you just
are these invasive?
Just kill them. And once you leave Travis's property, because you paid the $250, which is the higher price, but you don't know what they're going to do with them. It's not like you're not
getting an update.
You're like, I'm going to visit them one day in a huge pasture.
I guess it wouldn't matter, right? Because you're paying for the service.
Yeah, but the whole point is you're paying for them to live. That's what Travis's wife wants. That's what my wife wants.
How long? Maybe he lets them live a day.
Right.
Well, they had a great day. Took them for ice cream and everything.
Those terms and conditions.
Yeah. So, Scott, is it to your knowledge that they actually do relocate them into the wild, or do they just stomp them or kill them as soon as they get off property?
Like in a Big Lots parking lot.
Because they do that with raccoons.
The two guys I work with, who I send most of my people who need a swarm removal done, they actually are beekeepers themselves. They actually have a commercial beekeeping operation too on the side, and they'll take the hive back to their house. They'll put it in a box, and they'll let it get settled in, and then they'll go through each frame that's in that hive, and then find the queen, smash the queen, and put a new queen in it, and that works 50-60% of the time. You can get it where it reestablishes as a good hive with a good queen. And other times you bring them home, put them in a box, and then they just fly away because they're so apt to swarm and to keep moving that you can't even hardly keep them in the box. You'll come back the next morning, they'll be gone.
That's nuts.
Explain to me this, Scott. So you just by killing the queen, literally the whole aggressiveness of the entire hive changes? Because all that hive was created by the original queen, so they have the Africanized gene in them. But is that the fact that they just follow the queen's temperament or something? Like, how does that work where you get a non-Africanized queen?
It's the non-Africanized queen that you're putting in there that's going to lay eggs, and those are going to hatch out with a new temperament, and then all the older bees from the old queen will just slowly die off over the next 30 or 40 days, and then you'll have a whole brand new hive with all the lineage from that new queen.
God, it's almost like the world just super sped up with different influences, right?
Weird.
That is. Now I can see where now, and I apologize to you for making fun of your nerd voice. I can see where now you would get fascinated in the genetic aspect of the bee thing, because reintroducing a queen to rescue a hive that was like a pest hive, and you're able to kind of reboot it, so to speak, that's pretty damn cool. Very cool, man.
So basically, you're telling us not to send Travis out. And by the way, bee suit was going to be like I was going to cut a Homer bucket, some holes, some eye holes, and then put some mesh in there, and then duct tape it to his neck.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, wear some long sleeves, some garden
we've got that
gloves.
robot suit in there that inflates.
Oh, yeah, the inflatable robot suit.
Yeah, I figured that'd be good enough.
And then he'd be on the phone, and then, they'd be swarm crazy.
Oh, yeah, we'd be hearing it. I'll add some sound effects.
We've done the Bud Light box on the head a couple times. And you get to the yard, you drive 3 hours, get to the yard, and you forgot your veil.
Scott,
we'll just go with the Bud Light box, and that's cheaper.
for a regular person that's not allergic, obviously, if you're allergic, you're compromised. But a regular person, how many stings can you take before it actually becomes
Deadly?
deadly or poisonous to you, or is everybody different?
Everybody's different. It's just like anything else. I've been stung 60, 70 times a day on probably my worst day. And then other days, I take about 5 or 6 a day just anyhow. So I'm really used to it. But, a normal person can get stung 3 times and their whole arm swells up.
But you're probably built up immunity, like it does how your body does.
I got stung over the weekend at a big old elephantitis calf.
Let us sting you as many times as you start to puff up, and then give you an antidote.
Like if I got stung
antidote
100 times, could it kill me?
It could swell your throat up. I mean, if you just got stung around the face and the mouth and the nose, just that alone, the swelling from that will cause your nose to start swelling up, and your throat and your cheeks, and your eyes will swell shut where you can't see.
That is the worst way to get stung. Big fat bee face is terrible.
Yeah.
Like anywhere else on me, even my genitals. Sting my genitals, my feet, everywhere. Just don't sting my face.
It stung my lips. Oh, man.
Everywhere. I'm serious. Everywhere else on me, my BH, everywhere is completely okay. Not my face, because I feel like the face, it gets tight, like that red tight.
That's the moneymaker.
Is there last question, Scott? Is there any difference between the honey that Africanized bees make and the other non-Africanized bees? Is the honey the same?
It's all the same because it's what they're foraging off of in your local area. It's not like they're flying to Africa and then flying back with.
I know that, Scott.
Get him, Scott.
I'm not an idiot. I know it seems like
I like spicy Scott.
I just wondered if, the Africanized bees made some sort of bitter honey because they're mean. I don't know.
That's a stupid question.
I don't know. Like maybe they're because they were more angry that it somehow translated.
Because they hate their jobs?
I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway. All right, Scott. You taught us a lot, but I will retain none of it.
Yeah, I'll hear from you guys again, I'm sure.
Okay.
We'll call you in another
I love
6 months.
Scott. Scott's great.
I'll see you this weekend, Scott.
We'll call you live when I send Travis out to get the bees.
Yeah.
And they're
man.
they stung his lips.
We had him out here. Remember? We had him out here, and we
Yeah.
just dumped, I think I just poured just a thing of Publix bleach in there, and they're gone. $250? Not for me. 78 cents. And it was the little bottle, too. It was like the travel one. It's like, I don't even know why they make bottles of bleach that small. That's just for splashing in people you hate's faces, right?
Yeah.
Wasps.
What's up
we
with
can
that?
kill those, right?
Well, they're pollinators too, so you're not supposed to, but yeah, you can.
Is everything a pollinator?
Yes.
Wasps.
Pollinators mount up.
But wasps, what do they do with the pollen?
Well, they're pollinating the plants. I mean, they're not making honey, but they're transferring the pollen from plant to plant.
No, what I'm saying, but are they bees are going to the each plant, and then getting and collecting whatever to go back and make the honey, right? Mm-hmm. But what are wasps?
I think it's just gathering on their bodies, on their torso, and then they're going from plants. And
apparently, wasps are the ecosystem's pest control. They hunt live prey like flies, caterpillars, and spiders.
Wait a minute. Who kills them? If we do? Are they the top tier?
Raid? I don't know. Well, no, something must eat them. Some sort of bigger spider, a bird.
Or like birds,
yeah. Birds eat
I've seen some lizards
Bats.
eat them before. Yeah, they go crazy.
Birds eat weird stuff.
Can those big fat wood bees that Daniel's dad used to shoot with BB guns?
Carpenter bees.
Carpenter bees.
Do they do anything? Can they sting you?
No.
I think they're pretty docile.
I don't think they can.
Do they have a stinger?
I think they do, and I think they have a big fat stinger.
Because we saw a giant wood bee in St. Augustine, and it was flying around, and Tommy and Max were
I bet it didn't
scared
have
of
a
it.
mask on either.
They were scared of it, and I was like, don't worry, that's a wood bee. It just burrows in a hole. And then Tommy's like, well, okay, good, I'm going to go grab it then.
No.
And then I was
I like his gun. That guy's ready for life.
But then I was like, I think it could still sting you if you try to mess with it.
Don't molest the bees.
But I don't know that.
I've always thought
that
the big fat carpenter bee had a long stinger on the end of it, but it didn't do much.
So female carpenter bees do have a stinger, but they typically won't sting you unless you're grabbing at them. But male carpenter bees do not have a stinger.
No, really? So they literally can't do anything.
Well, wait a minute. Then the women should be the male because they got the stinger.
Yeah.
So just reverse that, and then it's good.
In the insect world, the women
they do a lot more.
They dominate.
They do
cutting
the
off
killing.
heads and stuff like that.
They also mate and then eat you, and it's a rough life.
I'm okay with that. Though.
I'm glad we grew up in
I'm okay with it. You mated with me, now you eat my head. Like I'm okay with that.
But
like I feel like afterwards I'm huffing and puffing and I'm just sitting there thinking about whether or not I brushed my teeth or not, and then my wife chops my head off. I'm not gonna know.
Do insects enjoy sex? There has to be a study on that.
Someone get an insect on the phone. Let's ask them.
I don't think they do.
It's just driven by pure instinct and evolution.
Because there's only like a couple animals that even enjoy sex besides humans.
Yeah, like dolphins.
Otherwise, it's just survival.
Bonobo monkeys and stuff like
literally just to because very little animals have sex for recreation like we do, but dolphins and there's some like primates and
I think manatees have sex for fun.
Do they?
Yeah.
No, they don't.
They have big old orgies. Yeah.
No, I don't think manatees do. Do they?
Yeah.
No, manatees are.
Do they have to go belly to belly? They can't go mounting position like most animals, right? There's not enough. They'd have to move the tail up, right? Like you couldn't go on top.
Manatee style.
I don't know. I don't even know. What does a manatee use? I don't even know what.
I think they have to go belly to belly to enter, right? But they can't go doggy.
Belly to belly.
Yeah, like they have to come together like belly to belly like this. Instead of they can't go regular animal in the animal world is like the man.
Yeah,
the
I
male,
think you're right. I think it's belly to belly.
Yeah,
kind of like dolphins.
There's dolphins. That's like yeah.
I don't know about that. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, it's a belly to belly. That's how I do it.
I like it when I've gained enough weight when I'm doing that and my belly button makes a suction noise on my wife's belly button. That's when I'm Big Fat Daniel and he goes and I'm like,
I need to lose weight.
Manatee style. All right. Bye-bye.
Welcome to another Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha's here. Butler's here. You know what time it is. It is time for another Weird Job Wednesday. And we are always looking for people that you might have an interesting job. You might have a job that you don't think is very interesting. Maybe you hate it. Look, every job to Tom and myself, I believe, is even just a little bit interesting. Every job.
Yeah. It has some interesting component.
Absolutely.
And in fact, if we can't find something interesting about it, then
we'll buy you a new job.
I don't know. I think that's
means.
When you actually win. Like, you stumped us. Because I'll talk to anybody
we should
about
have
their
a
job.
prize. We should say, if we don't find your job even 1 ounce interesting, we'll give you $1,000 cash. Text the keyword to... No, I'm kidding. Let's do this thing. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by StreamlineFlorida.com. If you're looking to refinance or get a mortgage, talk to Brian Zymel and his team. They have done hundreds and hundreds of BDMs.
I think
mortgages.
I've refinanced 100 times.
Yeah, I've done twice. Listen, the interest rates are great, so just talk to them because it could be the best business decision right now for you to do.
It can get overwhelming, but Brian and his team do not allow that. They walk you through it, and
it's super easy.
Super easy. Every step of the way, they will hold your hand. It's StreamlineFlorida.com.
So on the line with us right now, who do we got here?
Phil.
This is Phil.
Phil, how you doing?
Doing well. How you doing?
Good. So what is your job, Phil?
So I'm the chief marketing officer for an AI company.
No.
All right.
So you build what is eventually going to crush our skulls.
Yes, Skynet on its way.
Sweet. That is really neat, man. So we've been wanting to talk to a guy that dabbles in this type of space, right?
Yeah. So let's start from the beginning. How familiar are you with how AI works?
So actually, I'm on the sales side. So I know how my AI operates, but how it actually is put together on the back end, I have no idea.
Gotcha.
Now, can you give us like the general beats of how like AI operates, or like give us the synopsis?
I can tell you what we do. How about that?
Okay,
sounds good.
I'll start with that. So we do pre and post hiring for organizations. So we have a pre-hiring job board where a candidate comes in and they do a series of assessments. Once they go through the assessments, we can better align them with the proper role. Because one of the issues that organizations have is they can select the candidate through their resume based off of skills, but they're not sure if the person will be successful within the team. So we actually have a team cohesion algorithm that the AI determines who the best candidates would be for the position based on what you're looking for. And then we have an OKR, which is objectives and key results, which is like a project management system on the other end. So once the employee comes in, they're hired, then we can start tracking that process and the success rate of them, as well as make recommendations within the team to who's going to be most successful within certain projects and how you can arrange a team, things like that. And the AI will make is making tons of recommendations based upon bettering the team cohesion of the organization.
Okay, so basically they're just trying to figure out how to, I guess, be more streamlined with organizing their workforce and placing the right employees in the right place using an algorithm of information and continuous data that will better their hiring process.
Exactly.
Exactly,
yes.
So now everything is obviously becoming algorithms, and we're seeing it in everyday life with advertising. We're seeing all the ads being put in front of our face based on what we search and what we talk about.
I mean, we're even trying to dabble in it here by making our ads dynamic and making them so we can change the region of them. And
it's becoming way more personalized, and companies are realizing, like, okay, maybe our hiring process has been a little bit old school, where it's up to one human to interview a group of humans based on some BS resume, and then they just pick based on their subjectivity, because it's, they're taking human element out, kind of,
which is great, because think of how
we're removing inherent bias from the system, because every individual has at least 150 biases.
I've got more.
Every single time.
I guarantee you. I got at least double that.
I know exactly
I may have more.
I remember when
just remember that's the average.
When I left terrestrial radio, your next intern was a hot blonde. I know how you operate. You don't hire because you want to get things done. You hire because you were sad.
Also, I go off stereotypes. I go off my own personal experience only.
By stereotypes.
I go by small personal experiences that I put, and then I throw out a broadcast net to this type of person. Is like, all right, I had an experience with this type of. Everybody's like that. Sorry.
Is that how your software works?
So we're removing those biases. That's one of the big things. We're removing. There are many biases that can come through the application, as well as we have facial recognition technology that's actually analyzing 81 points in the person's face to where they can tell whether the person is being honest or how certain they are while they're answering a question, things like that. But it's also removing the racial bias, the gender bias, and things like that, which, a human just, no matter how much they think they have the ability to do that, they don't. They will have biases, and they will come out of that with the smallest things that can, set a tick and set somebody not hire. Or, some people even hire based on pedigree, whatever, hey, you went to Harvard, I'm going to hire you because you went to Harvard and I went to Harvard, right?
So do you
So things like that are being removed.
Do you think now? Does the algorithm take into account your schooling and your experience and that kind of thing, or is it mainly?
So actually, it does not. So that it takes that into account and it narrows it down. But right now, so for instance, right now we're offering to place one person for free within an organization. So if you guys are interested, we'd be happy to place somebody. But the way it's working right now is it's actually being done. Hey, grab the top 5-10 candidates that you have coming in that fit the skill set, and then we'll allow our algorithm to determine, who the best fit is. But down the line, yes, it will. We're still a startup company. We're still going through a lot of the stuff startups deal with, so we're not quite to the point we want to be, but we have a plan to get there, and the algorithm is functional. We have over 600,000 people that we've taken. Actually, they're college students. They're from Penn State University. Professor John Johnson provided us with that information, and that's kind of guided us. But now we're looking for more data, so the more companies we can bring on, the better off the AI will actually be in the long run.
Good day, class. My name is Professor John Johnson, and I specialize in boring names.
I wonder if I put my information or my resume into this, what kind of jobs that I'd get offered.
Bugman.
Because
first you'd have to learn how to spell resume.
I'm not joking. I don't think I've ever been offered a job by
Have you ever written a resume?
That's actually impressive if you've never had to write a resume.
No, I started to when I
farted and forgot. I don't know what you're going to say there.
And then I yelled at Crystal, maybe I should write a resume.
Help me make one of these resumes.
When I left Clear Channel, because I was I don't know, this cockamamie idea doesn't seem like how can it work? This company. I was like, no way this works.
Oh, our company?
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no education. Even though I have a business degree, it means nothing. Can I remember one thing?
And I just try to ruin it.
I'm not joking. If you put a gun to my head, if you said, remember 5 things you learned in college, I'll be dead. I could remember 3. I remember the salt thing.
And get to 2, get to 4, to 4 to 8.
And we're actually interviewing some guy that he's a listener and he's in UCF Business School, and his business project is up for a national competition.
Oh, wow.
Amongst all his
and you're going to ruin it?
Yeah. But also, I'm going to give him my business advice.
You don't have any. You said you don't remember anything.
He'll think of it before we talk to the interview.
That class he is in, that Blackstone or Cornerstone or something. I think it's called.
It's not Blackstone. Blackstone is a grill.
Okay,
so you're wrong there.
I don't remember one GD thing. I don't even remember one class.
Well,
anyway, sorry.
But you did remember the Blackstone griddle cooktop.
So, Phil, if I put my information in there, what do you think? Does it go out to all that's hiring? Is it kind of like a one of these monster?
So only if it pertains, right? Only if your specific skill and cohesion fit with the company, then a recommendation will be sent out to that company. But we like to start. So let me just walk you through real quick. You would do an assessment test. So the assessment test, once you go through that, it utilizes Holland Code and the Big 5 personality test.
I love Holland.
It will then. What's that?
No, I thought you said it activates Hall & Oates.
There you go. Yeah. So along those lines, and then we end up taking the personality, and it's broken down.
Remember, I wouldn't have to do this if you were more interesting.
No,
that's a joke. It's a joke.
Totally
I'm kidding.
I totally get it.
I'm kidding.
Zero interesting.
Phil,
I'm kidding, Phil.
Phil, I think my old school interview process could beat out your computer. I think it's time for, how they used to do this in the 1980s, man versus computer.
Who's stronger?
Yeah, there you go.
Bear?
Butler, get in here. We're going to reenact the interview process.
I am very intrigued because you did not interview me for my job.
No.
Well, you kind of did it mellow mushroom.
You just walked through the door and they said, you're hired.
Yeah.
We had a drunken conversation at a pizza place.
Yeah, and I was surprised you even wanted this job. So I was just like, you got it. All right, this is the setting. You come in, but pretend the couch is black, and I'm in a weird office with nothing on the walls, and then I have a desk with nothing on it. So that's the scenario.
Okay.
And you are in here for your job, but let's pretend we don't know each other, and then let's start.
I've seen this porno.
So, stand up. All right. So, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Good. So, I see your resume here, Travis Butler, and so you are white, correct? You're white.
I like this olive. I like to say olive.
Okay, I have to check. Also, here is a pencil. Sell me this pencil, and let's see if you got the goods. All right.
Oh my God.
You're watching two improv masters.
First, sir, this is a marker.
God damn it, you ruined it already. Why does Butler have to inject his own joke?
He's a shopper.
He's the shopper.
Why can't you just go along with my thing?
I'm going to tell you what happened there. You started to do improv with Butler, and you let him take control. And you can never let him take control.
No, I did.
You know what?
You got to steer the boat.
I almost said the F word right there. I almost said you're effing weak.
No,
You're weak.
I did the old
man.
90s thing where you embarrass the intern and you make him struggle.
You let him steal that from you.
No, you do the 90s radio thing where you're like, bring in the intern, and then we'll watch him flounder on the mic, and then we'll say silent.
Yeah, but he didn't do that. He
he didn't go with that.
You handed him a pencil, and he's like, oh, this isn't a pencil. It's a marker, because you're an idiot. You let him take control.
Okay, well, I didn't know I was dealing with Michael Scott. That's my fault for hiring Michael Scott.
Truer things have never been said.
Sorry, Phil. So, what do you make there for your job, which I still don't understand what's at all?
Well, he just he sells the nerd program.
Sales. Honestly, we're a startup. I started there last year in August, so I've been working on the funding and bringing in the beta clients. We went through beta in early January, and we're continuing that. We are in production at this stage, but we're still getting some case studies together for investors and stuff. So we have a WeFunder campaign that we're running right now. We hit our goal, but we're at 50,000 now. We're trying to reach 400,000. That's kind of been my job right now, is making sure that we have funds to continue this, because we've got $210,000 in from family and friends and the owners of the company. So that's kind of that kept us up. And now that the algorithm is working and everything seems to be going smooth, we're starting to bring in those clients, and we're doing a second round of funding, which has been fairly successful.
Now, Phil,
that's exciting,
I
man.
know there's gigantic money in these kind of businesses, because I hear like ZipRecruiter obviously advertises on every podcast I listen to, and from what I garner about podcasting rates and the advertising they do on these shows, I'm like, man, ZipRecruiter's putting in hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in advertising. Like they're paying
I'm more
a lot.
of a Blue Apron boy myself.
So that tells me, I'm like, they must be making a lot. So this kind of like software must be valuable to giant corporations, and they must pay a lot of money. Like, is that basically you hope to get in with like a Sony or like some gigantic corporation that
Home Depot,
and then you charge per the size of the company, right? So they, at a company like a Home Depot, they could be charging $30,000 a month for your.
That's whatever. Like
right?
MailChimp, you get a Disney, you get a Home Depot, and then you get Capital One under your belt, and
that's it.
And then everybody else is just incidental passive money.
So is that how the business model works?
Yeah. Basically, it's a monthly fee that's based on the number of employees, and you pay per employee, and it's tiered. So larger organizations pay less per employee than smaller organizations. Correct.
Okay, so
but it's actually not that expensive. I think right now our mid-level 500 or less is only $8.50 an employee. And when you think about hiring a single employee, that costs about between $4,000 and $5,000. So
yeah. No, that makes sense. That I mean, obviously you want to do this and you want to do it right, and then if you can, take
the human error out of it and then get the actual best qualified candidate. How do you get? And I'm sorry, this is my last question, but the lying on the resume and all that. It seems hard to weed out.
It?
Yeah, well, it seems like only because it seems like that's hard for a computer to do. Like, I'm looking at what a human can actually do better than a computer.
This is a weird coincidence, but I got a call 2 days ago from a friend of ours that put me as a source.
Oh, really?
And I answered correctly. Old radio guy that we'd worked with, you and I, a friend of ours, and he's a great employee. But it's just weird because I didn't think people did that anymore.
Yeah. As far as
First of all, I don't think I've talked to a human being other than my wife on the phone in the last 3 years.
Right.
Yeah, but you could see, a human will be able to see someone's job history, and then you start seeing, gaps that you're like, that's kind of weird. Why didn't they have a job for a year and a half here? And then, you start seeing things that raise a red flag in a human's mind, but I guess you could just teach the algorithm to look out for those things, right?
Yes, so actually at this point now, anything on the resume we're taking as gold. So if you say you worked at Oracle for the last 5 years as a senior partner, we're going to believe you, whatever it is. But this is more cohesion-based.
Oh, you might want to write a second algorithm.
I like that honor code.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But I mean, seriously, if it's Harvard Law, and I'm like, all right, impressive. You're in.
All right, Phil. How much do you make over there?
So actually, I own a digital marketing company, so that's really how I make my money. I also started a disinfecting company last year because the marketing company started to tank about March. And that's how I make my money. So I had to do something. So I started a disinfecting company,
nice.
And that's how I really make my money. But if you take all those into account, right around 120.
That's great. Right.
So you
don't seem to be afraid of working. Yeah, I can hear it in your voice. You like it.
Yeah, you got a bunch of different cockamamie things.
What's interesting though,
a little bit more with the Pokemon craze that's happened. I had a full first edition set that I believe my mom tossed when she moved.
Oh,
I can hear it in this guy's voice.
How much Dogecoin do you have?
Yeah,
you got a lot of Dogecoin.
I feel like you and Tom are very similar in the idea that, I don't think you guys would ever not have a job. It'd be even if something didn't work, you'd just hustle and find something else.
Yeah, but they're all like a cockamamie. They're also like,
that's been my whole life. Yeah, that is the point. It's craziness. I mean, as soon as I realized I could make money off sanitizing, I started that immediately, and I think the first month I did $30,000 that's not all profit in my pocket, but to do something in the first month like that's just crazy. I was doing everything right.
I do that around here, but I lie to people. I just put water in one of those spray bottles that you spray,
they don't know.
the ones you pump, and then I just carry a clipboard and then that pump, and every old lady in this goddamn neighborhood believes me. And I spray them. I spray everything.
You put Corona with a crossbuster over.
Oh yeah, all you gotta do is put some sort of red tape on it. So I go in there and I say, hey, do you want me to disinfect your ceiling fans? It keeps the Corona off you. That way, when you're running them, it doesn't blow the virus right in your eye. And they're like, I spray them all down. That's $300 a house. $300 a house.
Yeah.
I'm friggin' loaded right now. I don't know what to do. I bought a second spray bottle.
Yeah. So, well, Phil, you'll be good. Yeah, I think you'll just move on from one gimmick to the next your whole life. Yeah. But then you'll look back.
The thing that you have going for you is that you will always survive, but you will also always be forgotten.
Chances.
I'm hoping Voda AI is my legacy because they gave me a % of the company, which is the way they pulled me in because I had originally said no.
But I mean, the likelihood of this
that's going to do it. That's the end. I'm not going to go to any more documenting jobs. wherever else. This is it. This is my long-term retire with my percent of the company and call it quits.
But you know what's really awesome? A gun that shoots salt. That's where the money's at, Phil.
Yeah, that is where the money's
because
at.
we talked to that guy, he's just as cockamamie as you, and that guy's rich.
Or you know who I want to talk
rich.
to? You know who I want to talk to who is stinking rich?
Who?
Mr. Funko Pop.
Oh, yeah.
This MFer took dolls that aren't even that great. They do nothing. They have no functionality. And he just licensed everything that you think you like, and you'll blow $30 on them a pop. And you'll have hundreds of them.
Yeah.
And they do nothing.
And they cost pennies to produce in China, right?
I look like a crazy person.
Mr. Funko is, that guy's just... Who invented Funko Pop? And how much is that guy worth?
They probably got bought out by some toy company, right?
Well, Funko is the company.
Funko is a toy company.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, Pop.
Well, I don't know. It's just,
Mike Becker founded.
F you, Becker.
What's his net worth?
Good for him.
You know what? You're a better person than me. What's this guy's name? Phil. Phil, you know what? You're a good man. Have a great day. You're our winner, okay?
Oh, sure. All right. Thanks, guys.
Well, what did you want?
Oh, you want to stay here all day, Phil?
That wasn't very believable.
What did you want us to do, Phil?
Unbelievable.
You want to come in here and want me to massage your feet?
Yeah.
Got a goddamn show to run, Phil.
Yeah, we got
We got stuff to do. This place is like you may have enough time to jump on the line and take a phone call and talk about your silly disinfectant job. We got a big time podcast event to run, and we don't even know how we're going to pull it off.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with that. It's not my problem. So
I'll get you, Phil, if it's the last thing I ever do.
It is your problem, Phil. We're going to start adding your name onto the show.
It's now called Phil's Big Problem. Come on down. Buy your tickets now.
So you're going down with us, Phil. All right. We'll talk to you.
Hey, we love you, man. Be good.
all right. Thanks, guys.
All right, take care.
I'd like to point out that Phil is not familiar with our program. He is just a cousin of Zach from Ohio.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah,
you know, I saw
wondered why
Zach
those
say,
jokes
"Hey, my
weren't-
cousin is
Yeah.
going on."
I
the
I
show.
knew those jokes weren't landing, and he was highly offended.
No wonder he thought we were crazy. I was like, "What
so
are you?"
you mean to tell me we just put a stranger on a radio show and we yelled at him and made him? We abused him.
And then
We harassed an old man on our
and then
Now that's a Tuesday, everybody.
his cousin
Or Wednesday.
His cousin Zach's like, "Hey, I got this radio show that will help you promote your software
and your disinfectant wand.
It did nothing.
I'll tell you when to put your wand,
Zach,
Phil. Yeah.
Zach, you are a horrible
Why don't you
person.
Well,
Infect your
the way
small
he sold
intestine,
it to
Phil.
me was he said he's a co-owner
Co-owner.
of an AI company
He's got
valued at $9 million.
He's got
and I was like, that'll be interesting.
1%, like Tom had 1% of the Predator.
So we got bamboozled.
We did.
Yeah,
We did.
It's just
You know what? I take it back. That guy does not win. It's our first ever non-winner.
Oh, wow.
I've never
He's
done
the
that.
best guy.
We've never had a week where
I
we.
liked Phil.
Yeah, I like to be. I'm going to hire
Oh,
him.
you guys are all ganging up. How is Redcoat?
doing pretty good.
Did we? When was our last? When was our last quarterly report for Redcoat Media? I want to see some spike numbers. I want to see what's happening.
The spike numbers are happening. They're just with helmets.
Oh yeah. How much growth have you seen in the first? Let's see. I started writing your checks at Redcoat about a month and a half ago. So
Really? I thought. How long has he had Redcoat?
Years.
Oh, I thought
Years.
Man, I swear to God, I honestly thought you guys were joking around about that.
Those are years.
All right.
But so what are we talking growth wise?
For those that don't know, Butler has his own LLC called Redcoat Media. Now, when people buy your art, is it a Redcoat Media production?
Yeah, sure.
Is it does it have a different name? Do you call it something like?
I mean, I'm moving those funds over into the
okay.
Redcoat account.
Moving the funds.
Moving some monies around. He got that from Tom Van's business school.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you can if you one spike, you get two spikes.
Yeah.
2 to 4, 4 to 8.
And then what you got to do, and seemingly what I think is the best business move, is you got to start convincing other people to invest into Redcoat Media, right? Follow me here. And then when they invest, and you promise them a certain amount of dividend return, you're like insane amount, right? Then you pretend to be rich or whatever. And then when they invest, you buy whatever you want, and then you need to pay these people their dividends because you promised them. Then you just get new investors, and then you use their money to pay the first investors dividends. Bingo bongo.
Have you been on my computer?
Infinite money.
Infinite money.
Bingo bongo, infinite money.
Why'd you do it?
Money Dracula.
I am Money Bagula.
Oh, bye-bye.
Blah, blah.
Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha and Butler are here. We're finishing up and dabbling in your voicemails, which you can leave through our app. Just download it totally free. Just search wherever you get your smartphone apps, and you can leave us a voicemail like this one from Drunk Carl, but he's not drunk.
Which one?
Well, we have many Drunk Carls. The one that gets so drunk he sounds like he's going to actually hurt himself.
Level 10 Carl.
Level 10 Carl, yeah. But he's not drunk at all in this one. In fact, not only is he not drunk, he understands mentors.
Hey, T&D Media. This is Carl from Wisconsin. I was just...
Sounds like a completely different guy, right? Isn't it weird?
It's during the daytime. It's daytime, Carl.
Does he know? He get does he know?
No, you don't know.
I don't think he knows.
Yeah, that's
Is it one of those things where if I played him his other voicemails, he'd be like, I'm offended you would think that's me. I'm offended you would think that's me. Like where he doesn't realize he turns into the werewolf man.
Yeah.
Listening to the Wednesday corporate time, and you guys were talking about the different things about mentors. Look up the Mentor Network. MentorNetwork.com. And yeah, those are special people that they take care of. It's just kind of funny you're talking about special needs detective. There's a Mentor Network that does it.
Oh, so we can just buy a mentor?
Hold on. Is it for people that need help, like with their lives because they're struggling with something? Or
well, we're struggling with this business.
I know, that's perfect for me.
Yeah, this is great.
It's to be personally coached by top authors, CEOs, executive coaches, and investors.
That's exactly what we need. How much is this? They got a number? Let's call them.
Can I sign myself up to coach?
Give me the number.
People?
Call them. Call them right now. Put them on the line. I need an answer right now.
Find a number. Hold on.
Yeah, so you go on this website and you find someone to coach you, but you're right. It's definitely a service you pay for, right?
I just don't know. Okay, we have a lot of business. We have a lot of like business types and people that are like our contemporaries that are in business that say that you and I, one of the areas that we are failing is that we do not have a mentor.
Yeah.
Would a mentor fall under the category of somebody who has achieved more than we have?
Yeah, I think that's important, right?
And been in the business longer. So like a Jim Phillips, is that like a mentor?
But he's been in a business that's not our business anymore. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the radio, and that's not our business.
Right.
So this new space...
So our new mentor is Joe Rogan.
Oh, God.
Sorry, Sam.
But it's not even...
really red and greasy.
It's all like his business different than our business. So that doesn't really help either. So it's like,
How much for a mentor?
Each one is a different price, apparently.
God, it's
so you have
made
to
to
click
order.
for more info, depending on which person. There's a 2-day online workshop.
Tom doesn't have time for 2-day online workshops.
Yeah,
we need a quick, fast-acting
very
mentor.
involved.
I hate
registration
workshops.
fee alone is typically $299. But this week, $89.
We're not getting a mentor.
Can you get your money back if they don't give you any good
It
ideas?
does say money back guarantee at the bottom.
How do you determine that? And how do you know I'm not just hoarding your ideas to use them at a later date?
Get 8 video lessons.
Hold on. What if we crowdsourced a mentor on
2
the show?
workbooks. You going to work in your workbook,
No,
Tom?
that's the thing is Tom is not going to do any of this.
I know.
Yeah. I hate
Neither would
workbooks.
I,
hate
so-
workshops. I really
Active
have to,
discussion board for students and teachers.
Look, if anybody would do the workbooks, it'd be me, and I'm out of that game. After I got out of college, I vowed to never go back. I'm not doing that ever again. Not even with my daughter's homework.
I think I've thought of every idea possible for this business and then run through it in my head and, fleshed out. The ones, sometimes the ones you see, like the
not the ones we get.
The love meter, that was one. And then there's some other about.
I mean, there are some different ones. There's the Tom and Dan watering holes, Tom and Dan soft openings, Tom and Dan hook. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's the marketing, that thing.
Tom and Dan
God, that would cost
Sports
us.
Authority dancers.
Tom and Dan payola, Tradle.
Costa Del Mar sunglasses forever.
There's been some bad ones. But I will pay $100.
Whoa!
For every good idea, some listener, anybody wants to call in, you tell me your idea for our business.
So this is a new...
It's called You Be the Mentor.
I love it.
And then if you call in, you give us an idea, and then I'll determine whether it's good or bad. If it's good, I'll give you $100
for it.
Yeah.
But we have to drop a contract in case you don't want to get into like some sort of weird legal thing.
But if it's good, that means we can make instantly more money. That's obviously more valuable than $100. But so $100 will be a discount. But bad ideas, you get nothing.
Okay, so is the idea of the mentor, because we're kind of flipping the whole thing. We're now crowdsourcing ideas. I think ideas and mentorship are different. What I mean by that is if we had a mentor, I think the point of it would be to run our ideas in front of our mentor and then have him go, well, see where you're making mistakes is yuck, right?
Yeah. Well, here's what's going to happen. We bring in a mentor, like a business mentor.
I'm going to make fun of him.
And then he comes in and he's like, all right, so where's your guys' work schedule and all that? And I'm like, we don't have any of that. It's like, well, do you guys have
show you my calendar.
Do you guys have a set amount of like sick days at work?
What's your budget?
No.
What's your marketing budget? And what's your like the percentage you pay your employees of this, of that? Look, we don't got any of that. You're like, well, you need that. I'm like, well, what else you got? I can't do it.
Okay,
well, they're supposed to mentor you to how to do it.
I know what we need to do. I'm not an idiot. We just can't do it.
It's going to end with us yelling at the guy, telling him to get the hell out of our studio. That's
like, I know all this stuff. We know we have to be better organized. We need to have some budgets. We need to allocate this money towards this person this. This guy's got to do this.
Okay, we have some
I know all that.
We have some suggestions.
It's like telling a big fatso, like, you got to exercise and eat right. He's going to scream, I know.
That's what I kind of feel like a mentor is. I kind of feel like a mentor is just going to say, well, you guys got to do really good, funny shows. I'm like, no! And yes, I cursed, but I had to. I just had to say it.
Yeah. Like, you're going to get a life coach to tell some fatso he needs to eat more carrots? He knows that.
That is exactly.
He's not an idiot.
You said what I've been wanting to say.
He just can't do it.
You said what I've been wanting to say for the past 2 weeks about mentorship.
Yeah.
I think it's all crap.
Work hard, be better organized. Okay. Well, I can't do that. I know what I need to do. I can't do any of that. Okay. Give me a secret. Give me the magic pill.
So I go to my mentor and I go, well,
give me the magic business idea. It takes no work.
Hey, Dan mentor, what should I do to be better? Well, you seem to be having some problem with your stress. Maybe you should delegate. Well, if I delegate, I'll worry about the things that I've delegated, and that's stress.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to do then. I'm just a mentor.
Like I've heard the whole thing's like you need to have your business needs to run so efficiently it can run without you. You need to have processes, and you need to have like workflow, and you need to like, well, I know that.
And I'll be real.
I can't do it.
I kick around and I overly use the buzzword workflow a lot, just so you guys will think that I'm actually doing something in here.
Yeah. We're all barely trying to just get by tomorrow, next week, like to pay ourselves the next paycheck. That's how I'm trying. And to take it all I got. Oh my God!
I just sit here. I literally just sit here and keep checking my watch until it's true leave time.
That's all we got.
It's true leave time.
Yeah, we shouldn't. We should do more. We can't do it. What is that? You tell me to eat right and exercise? I can't.
Now what do I do, mentor? Yeah. Because it is like that. Because we get the mentor, and he's like, well, you're going to have to work harder, and you're going to have to do really funny shows. Okay, thanks, mentor. Well, what do you got now?
Yeah.
Now what do I do?
You know what he's going to say?
I tried that.
You got to grow your audience. You got to, there's got to be a better business structure, and then like everything's got to be more organized.
You know what I'm going to say to my mentor? I'm going to say, you do
it. You're telling me obvious stuff I know, but why do you think I'm not doing it? It's because I'm for whatever reason, disabled. I don't, whatever you want to call lazy. I just got POS. I don't know why.
Are mentors just human sticky notes?
Yeah.
Are they just there to remind you that stuff you're not capable of doing? I think we had a breakthrough moment here. I think that mentors are just there to remind you of this stuff you're not capable of doing.
Because we'd be doing it if you wouldn't even be here.
Yeah, we'd be rich. I wouldn't be on this stupid show. This is stupid.
This is all we can do.
Two guys yelling, and one of them's like, Don Vito, and then the other one will be dead soon.
Yeah. This is all we're capable of doing, mentor. Anyway. I don't, that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. So bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. Sorry, I didn't mean to hesitate there. For a split second, I was just... the rhyme that I saw on a hat in a 7-Eleven in the Carolinas, it just popped into my brain, and it was ashes to ashes, dust to dust. If it wasn't for women, our ding-dongs would rust.
Okay, yeah.
For some reason, it got in my brain. That's the pause you heard. I'm just over-explaining. Let's do some voicemail messages, and you can leave us voicemail messages by getting our free app. Just search A Mediocre Time, Mediocre App, Tom and Dan. Try this.
Hey, Tom and Dan, you guys were talking about on the Friday Free Show selling RSS feeds or the show changing. So Butler may know of this, but I listened to a show called Analyze Fish, and it was Harris Whittles, a comedian and Fish fan, trying to convince the guy from Comedy Bang Bang, not a Fish fan, that Fish was a good band. And it was comical and such. And then after like 6 or 7 episodes, the next episode was Paul F. Tompkins hosting, and it was Analyze Fish with 2 new people. And they talked about Jaws for 2 or 3 episodes critically. And then sometime later, it went back to being about Fish, the hippie jam band. So
there's that.
I wonder how that happened. Like, is that
what
selling?
Do you mean?
Well, like they started a podcast called Analyze Fish with 2 people, and then all of a sudden it changed to about a Jaws.
Well, that's because Paul F. Tompkins is a skit better. He's not going to take it seriously.
No. So just a lot of comedians did. There was a sweet spot in podcasting where you had comedians that would like name their show something, and then like they'd almost like. The joke was that they didn't take it as serious. You know what? It's almost like the name, what they did would be completely left field.
There's a podcast called I Said No Gifts, which is a comedian that has a guest come on to bring them a gift, and then he either praises the gift or craps all over.
Right.
I mean, it's
more conceptualized,
whatever
I guess.
you want it to be.
I do like, too, all the podcasts that came out at the beginning where nobody understood what were good numbers and bad numbers. So there was, like, people doing podcasts and getting insane downloads. What's his name?
Michael Che.
No. Not Michael Che. That's Saturday Night Live. It was
the guy,
Michael
Yo. Michael, I knew it was a Michael.
Yeah. Michael Yo.
Don't do the thing you did
when he was
with the guy from Chappelle's show.
No.
Well, thankfully they're not here because for me to be racist to their face.
Because Joe Coy and Michael Yo used to do a podcast called the Yo and Joe Show. And then he talked about it when we interviewed Michael Yo about it, and he was like, "We were getting 200,000 downloads a show, but we didn't know what that meant." And we came from the TV world, like he came from the TV world,
nothing.
and that world you're dealing millions, and so you're like they didn't think it was nothing, but that's worth in today's terms. You could get $7,000 to $10,000 a commercial easy for that. Like for a 1-2 minute Squarespace commercial, or whatever partner you deal with. Like
correct.
So they could have been making essentially $20,000 a pocket. They didn't even monetize it, but they didn't know what it was worth. And I feel like there's the beginning of technology. There's tons of stuff like that. You just have no idea. You're just like, I guess we'll do this thing, but it's nothing. It's worth nothing. But then,
if you don't,
then down the line, you're like, oh my God, I had gold in my hand, didn't know it.
Yeah, there is a plant in Florida that's the only native caffeinated North American plant, right? Nobody knew about it, and now these guys found it, and it's gold, right? Could be.
Yeah.
It's weird how, and kind of unfortunate that they didn't continue that, but they're fine. They continued into TV and were successful. But it is interesting to see what they had landed upon and that they didn't even know.
Also, by the way, you can't go back and just start doing it and get those same numbers.
You can't get those numbers.
It's so diluted.
That was my next point. Is going to be that it was natural. Even we had some, at one point we hit, this is extraordinary, at one point we hit in comedy, in iTunes, we were the number 11 comedy podcast. That is so blanking high now.
Oh, yeah.
So, that might as well be your Chappelle, Chelsea
your
Handler,
top celebrities,
Bert Kreischer, Joe Rogan, Mark Maron. They're all up there.
But I don't
Dan Cummins, he floats between like that and the 30s.
There was one show. This was in the old studio, so that tells you how long ago. This may have been 5 years ago, but there was one show that we're tracking. It almost got 90,000 downloads, and that obviously that was way probably overblown because back then it was a Wild West of how they even gauged downloads and stuff, and they were inflating them and stuff. But the 90,000, it was like
crazy.
It didn't even accurately represent our social media following or anything. No. It was so overblown, but,
Let's try this one. Don't know what it's about.
Hey, T&D and company. BDM Manning here from Booger Salt fame. Listen, Tom, if your kids are too young and uninterested in the salt shooters, let me hold one of them things. Since my message was a catalyst for the knowledge of said dad toy. Or not. Either way, love you all. You guys are cool. Deuces.
Who is this guy?
Let me hold one of the things.
This is like smooth talking bug assault, man. I'll give you one just for being a weirdo.
I'm not joking. I was moving around in my pool shed. I was moving around things and I saw the bug assaults.
Oh, you got excited, didn't you?
No. Well, my boys. Their noodle arms were too weak to pump the thing.
They're a year older now, pandemic.
And
if you get them to flip their own pancakes and eggs, maybe they'll have some arm strength.
Don't talk about it.
And also, it wouldn't cause as much destruction, and my wife wasn't cool with shooting insects.
Yeah.
Then
it's kind of like it checks all the boxes for something not in your house.
Like she'd be fine with flies, but the problem is they couldn't find flies, so I'd tell them to go shoot anything, beetles, whatever,
I think
lizards.
Mosquitoes should be great. Follow me with this. Now hold on. I have a legit bug assault question. If a mosquito landed on me, remember the old trick where a mosquito would land on you, and then you'd pinch around the mosquito, and you'd fill him up with blood, and then he'd pop?
I've never
heard of that.
Oh, you never did that?
No.
Okay,
you'd force the blood?
Yeah, because
That's crazy.
Yeah, okay, so you wait till a mosquito lands on you.
That sounds like an urban legend.
You wait till he lands on you, and then you pinch around him, and you squeeze, and you force the blood into his blood snoot, and you blow him up.
Hold on, Butler.
Have you done it before?
I've tried to do it. I've never fully been able to do it.
That's an urban legend.
It may be.
Butler screamed true, so I got to get him.
I know it's fake.
It's definitely fake now. But we've all done this. Now, follow me with this. I know you'll know this one. Sorry, that's your catchphrase.
Yeah.
I'll pay you later. If a mosquito lands on you, bites you, and then it continues flying around, you ever done that thing where you slap it, it's got blood in it, and then you see the blood on you?
Yeah,
okay. If a mosquito was flying around and bit me, seemingly in my theatrical mind, it would be very fun to shoot a freshly
engorged.
Thank you. Very good. A freshly engorged mosquito with the bug assault, because you would get real and active blood splatter.
Yeah, like a pink mist, like snipers.
Or especially like on my house happens to be painted white. Mosquito lands on windowsill, shoot with bug assault, blood spray. That's pretty cool.
That is cool. I've never tried that. Maybe I have to pull the bug assault out again, because we used it in the rental house that we stayed in, and then we were shooting like grass moths and things and it wasn't as satisfying, and I was trying to, you need to shoot something with substance. Maybe a blood mosquito would be better.
Now I will give you a word of warning.
Or a big fat doo-doo fly, but we couldn't find
doo-doo flies are great. Horse flies are great. Too fast though. I'll tell you what you should not shoot, and if you do and you make the mistake that I made, you will instantly become sad as a daddy longlegs.
Oh, okay.
Defenseless.
Yeah.
And I blew off like 3 of his legs and instantly felt sad because he was just kind of limp walking in circles.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, I look at a daddy longlegs and I always think of the bad guy in Will Smith's Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
Because
the handicapped man in the Spider-Mobile or whatever it was.
Well, then there's the blind mosquito, which is, I think...
Those are the females.
The females, right? They're big.
Or there's the males.
No, I think there's the males, right? The ones that don't bite.
Big fat males.
They don't bite you.
Males.
But they're big, lanky.
Yeah, they've kind of lumber around. They're the ones you always see in the stickers that rednecks put on their cars to let you know that they know of a place called Mosquito Coast or Mosquito Lagoon. They're always like, I put a mosquito on my car to let you know I know of. Okay, well, I put a Florida flag on my car to let you know I know of Florida. I one-upped you.
It's weird what people advertise on their cars. What is that? Like, why? I mean, we do it with the Tom and Dan magnets. Believe me, I know.
Tell people not to do it.
I know,
hell, man.
I know. I'm like literally questioning something that's good for our marketing, but it's an odd motivation for you to be like, I need to put this on my car to let the others know what I'm into.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Salt Life.
Well, there's all of it. I mean, but
stick figure families, how many miles you've run.
Bumper
stickers. It's to personalize. It's to
coexist.
It's to personalize your car and put a little bit of your personality to the exterior.
So, okay, let's talk about the number ones with the points.
26.3.
Yeah. Whatever. Those, like a 26.3, it would be a half, or is that's a full marathon, right? 26.5 or 3 miles or whatever.
I don't know. I look at it, I don't know what any of them mean. There's a lot of them. The numbers I don't know. The decalors I don't know.
There needs to be an explanation.
I don't care. So,
but they're trying to tell me something, and I don't know what it means.
Oh no, okay, it's 26.2
is a full marathon.
So why not? Follow me here. I might be insane, but instead of putting 26.2, right? Marathon.
Well, I ran a marathon.
This is good.
Because then it's more impressive to me.
I like that.
Than the stupid just the number.
I completed a marathon.
But you're also driving a car, so I don't really care. You know what I mean?
Well, with the 26.2, all you're doing is letting me know how long a marathon is.
You're just bragging to me that you ran a marathon, right?
Not necessarily. You didn't say you ran a marathon. You just put a sign on your car letting me know how long a marathon is.
I know we're doing the same BS we always do, but the memorial one, I know this is going to make a lot of people mad.
Why?
But when you have the memorial on the back.
I did that. I'm doing that right now for my mom.
Are you?
Yeah, I wrote my mom's name, and then underneath it, I wrote 26.2. She never did a marathon. Dead. I wrote underneath it. I don't know. It makes me so sad. That's the only way I can handle it.
It's like, it's kind of depressing seeing that you knew someone. Or
it's the angel wings on the edges that make me sad.
And then it's like, I did the math.
It's the same angel.
This person was 21.
Okay,
it's sad. Why?
Okay, the angel wing. Okay, you write the name and you write their birth date and you write their death date, and then you put the angel wings on either side, the beginning and the end of their name. But it's the same angel wings that were used around the "I'd rather be on my Harley." So it's weird to me.
What's the motivation? I know it's part of like a coping and like you're, telling people, and that's helping you as part of the healing process.
What I just did was the audio version of that, sir.
It's odd to me, but I understand. I don't understand human feelings and things.
Are there any ways you can alter those to make that's the worst thing you can do to someone's car, right?
We'll put a memorial sticker.
No, if they put a memorial sticker and then you just come up with a Sharpie and like change the date, that's the worst thing you could do.
Yeah, it is.
Taking your life in your own hands if you do that.
The family stickers are another weird thing. It's like, all right.
But I like them better than the zombie stickers that mock the family stickers.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Family over zombies all day long. I hate the family stickers, but if you put the zombie stickers on your car to mock the family stickers, I hate you more.
Yeah. The mocking of the stupid stickers is worse.
Yes.
Because it's like you're doing it and somehow you're trying to be on my side.
No,
but
you
you're
can't
not
be
on my side.
No.
No stickers. You have to go no stickers to be on my side. Mocking it. Calvin.
Oh, my God.
Doing number one on the Chevy.
Dan Paul says, worst job is the car detailer that has to scrape the memorial off the glass when they trade it in. Damn, that's almost like the funniest thing you've ever said. That would be a terrible job. My God. And it's usually like a teen boy, right, that's working the lot for his dad.
Yeah.
Like it's a summer job. You work the lot. Like over at Gibson Truck World, they would have, some of the guys that I would work with, like some of these salesmen, they would have their kids on the lot running trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's disappointing. A drunk driver. Oh, my God. Terrible.
Bye-bye.